Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Passing pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Go Blue.
Welcome in. Can you hear me? Is the microphone on? Oh, microphone's on. It doesn't sound like it's on.
You're loud and clear, baby.
You know what? I know what it is. I didn't turn my headphones on.
Don't worry about it. They're going to get unplugged in a minute anyway.
100%,
So
man, we're locked and loaded. We're in here. Shep, I don't know if you had a chance to watch a Duke game last night, but there was something that happened at the end of the game, and it was, a name that I recognize, a name that is all too familiar to me. It was an interesting moment. It was actually a surreal moment, if you will.
it is one of the more incredible. This is what people love about March Madness. Is a moment like that, a moment like Iowa against,
Illinois,
when Iowa beat Florida.
Right.
It's that corner three. It's those moments that you cannot believe. I don't know if you saw the video of Bill Raftery and Grant Hill's reaction, but when those two guys who've seen just about everything you could see in the college basketball game react like that, how about you and I at home? What are we acting like, right? Just blown away. Phenomenal theater.
I think what's so great about the moment is you're watching this game and you're watching this epic comeback. 19 down, UConn was at one point in the game, 15 at the half. They got back up to 19, but they climbed all the way back. So now we're watching this game and we're watching the moment like, oh, shoot, it's getting tight. Oh, shoot, they're down one. Oh, shoot, they get a steal. Shep, I was so caught up in the theater of the game. I was so caught up in the coaching. I was so caught up in what was going to happen next that when Mullins hits the three-pointer, I wasn't even paying attention to what his first name was and who shot it, because I was actually eyeing him, watching out for a game and some other business. But I was watching out for him when they hit the shot. Then you see it in the commentators, Braylon Mullins, and then I'm looking like it's
spelled differently, right?
It's spelled the same exact way.
Oh, I didn't think it's. I didn't think he spelled it that way.
His father,
a little bit of clutch jeans magic, man.
His father,
I want to see it again.
Every other Braylon that came after 2004 named him and spelled it the exact same way.
You're right. Okay, I got it now.
So kudos.
I thought for some reason it was spelled differently.
No, I mean, he's a baller too. I mean, I had to go back and check some of his stats. You see what he did. He was Indiana Player of the Year. You know how Indiana feels about basketball, how serious they take it. He averaged 32 his senior year, averaged 30 his junior year, 20 his sophomore year.
He was a real deal, man.
He had a 51-point game on his senior year.
Well, that's not Kool-Aid, but that's pretty close.
He's almost there.
I mean, Kool-Aid at 53 now.
This is true. But he was a monster, man, and to play like he played, like you look at it, he was 0 for 6 from three-pointer until that shot. They still trusted him. He came down, saw what time was on the clock, saw he had a little bit of lane, and Shep, he pulled from deep. He pulled from the logo. I know we tease the logo conversation all the time, but that truly was. I mean, we're looking at it right now. In March Madness, he shot it from the second S in Madness, and he made that shot. So kudos.
But here's my question.
You care if I play the
Braylon
video real
Miller,
quick, right?
So here's my question. When Mullins hits that shot, and I'm not trying to be a stickler here because I think it's an incredible moment. Kudos to him, right? A freshman who stands tall, as Braylon said. That's his first triple of the game. Yeah. Beautiful shooter. I give credit to, I think it was an unbelievable pass, too. Like when people talk about being unselfish, oh, is he afraid of it? Alex Caravan, who's a senior, could have easily taken that shot. He gave it up for one more, right? For a better shot. The entire bench basically spills out onto the floor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's still time on the clock, by the way. And Danny Hurley does what? He goes up to the referee and headbutts him. Not in a negative way, but like trying to, hey, man, that could have been called. And I'm not saying it should have been. I'm just saying there are two things right there that other teams, if that happens to a team you don't like, Kansas, Duke, North Carolina, some of the blue bloods in the A lot of people might have something to say about that. I didn't see as much of that on social media as I thought I would have.
Sam, because he got in the guy's face.
Well, he was hyped up, he was fired up, and he
Right.
went up to the referee, just kind of a joking way, and went like this, and they touched heads. Technically, no pun intended, you're not supposed to make contact with the referee, okay? In addition to that, the entire bench, they leave and go onto the floor. You're not supposed to be able to do that either. Again, I'm not trying to be a wet rag here.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing that up because in other instances we've seen, people have brought it up, and people have jumped all over it. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in that way. At the end of the day, this is March Madness. This is what comes with March Madness. It's buzzer beaters. It's the players running off the bench. Like, it's coaches that are intense. It's coaches that are fired up. Like, no, they absolutely should not have called that. They didn't call that.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to call something, then how about you call the timeout as John Shires? You let your team give up a 19-point lead. Hey, if you want to talk about
he called a couple timeouts.
He did, but it wasn't enough. I'm being funny on the opposite side of that. Like, look, man up.
Yeah.
Like, man up on the opposite side of that. You let that team come back. They came back. They clawed their way back. Tanner Reed was absolutely undeniable.
Oh, my God.
In the post for that team, man. And this is what happens. Whenever you play not to do something, Shep, like, you ever see guys that say, you know, I'm going to go out here. I'm going to play light. I'm not going to get hurt. I'm going to play not to get hurt. What happens? Guys get hurt.
Yeah.
When you go out there and when you're trying to hold on to a lead and you're not playing to win, you're just playing to maintain the lead. Look, we're playing to survive. We got a lead. We're playing not to lose. They gave that lead
That
up.
wasn't Terrace Reed. Terrace Reed, 26 points, 9 boards. And by the way, he played the most of that game with 3 personal fouls.
He did.
So that tells you something.
Yeah.
He has turned, of course, he started his career at Michigan. He has turned into a really good, strong, effective player down low. I love this. That classic get off my lawn take. You sound like the Duke radio announcer. I am not saying that's what
I may
should
have
happen.
to agree, Shep.
All I'm saying is those things have been brought up in other instances.
Yeah.
That's all. I wouldn't have called it. I don't think they deserve to get called. I think UConn made a hell of a job coming back. I would love to. Let me say this. I thought what happened after the game in the locker room where young Caden Boozer faced the cameras and the microphone speaks volumes about that young man's character, about his upbringing, and about how much he cares about his team. I was really impressed with that kid, and I mean that sincerely, because guess what? That's what everyone's going to remember, but they're going to conveniently forget that he had 15 points, was 4 of 5 from the floor, 6 of 6 from the stripe, and had 6 assists.
Yeah.
And I hope they remember that, because it's not just one play. That was the most important play, but it wasn't just that one play. I would have assumed that John Shire and his entire staff said, just stand there. You're not trying to beat a 10-second clock. Grab the ball and stay there. Act like you're pregnant and you're sitting in a chair waiting for the baby to be born.
Yeah, 100%. I heard Jay Billis talking about this on radio today, and basically what they do is Duke practices this play, much like every sport. You practice those moments at the end that you could potentially be in a Hail Mary situation if you're on a football field, 2-minute drill, things of that nature.
Yep.
And in basketball, it's one of these situations where there's 4.5 seconds left on the clock and the team is trying to get it, beat the press, etc. They have plays that they run, and basically it's called front and phase. Front and phase.
Okay.
Caden Boozer's supposed to catch the ball, face the defense. Now when you without moving, without taking steps, without jumping in the air.
Without Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
100%.
Right.
And when you face up the defense, now you can see where the move is going to go. Now you can see where the pass is going to go. Now you see what kind of comes your way. You didn't necessarily have to jump. You didn't necessarily have to get the ball above half. So they work on that play. But once again, when you're 18 years old, sometimes those things go out the window. And I think when looking at that moment, I heard so many conversations that were like, oh, guys are getting paid $2 million. First of all, he's 18 years old. I don't care what you're getting paid. It doesn't supersede the fact that you're 18. It doesn't supersede the fact that you're still young, you're still learning, and in that moment, it also takes you back to 92 when you look at a young Chris Webber who was 19 years old at the time, make a move like that. But getting back to Caden Boozer and the way in which he handled at the press conference, kudos to him, kudos to his father, Carlos Boozer, kudos to his mother, and how they raised their son to face that press. I will say this, though, Shep. I am happy for the Boozer family that it was, if it had to be one, that it was Caden and not Cam.
Why is that?
The reason why I say that is because Caden already, and this is going to sound crazy, but this is just my observation. Because Caden is the shorter twin, because Caden is not the twin that's going number 1 overall, because Caden is the twin that people are coming to Camden Fieldhouse to see, because he's not the one, he's not Cam. People are forgiving of him. Like, I've already been listening to the conversation around Caden, and it's been a positive one.
Good.
It's been one of, you know what, he's 18, it's, I feel bad for him. How he faced the microphone and those things. If that was Cameron Boozer, a guy that they already believe, another Boozer, they would have been ripping him a new one up until the draft. It would have been like Chris Webber.
Yeah,
They've been ripping him a new one up until the draft, all the way through his NBA experience. Like, we don't know about him in clutch moments. You see, remember what he did his freshman year at Duke. With Caden, there's more of a pass, if you will, and then also he'll come back next year and maybe he'll get a chance to right that wrong. If it was Cam, you would get the Chris Webber treatment. Like, Caden's going to get the benefit of being, for lack of a better word, the one that they take some empathy on, if you will.
Did Duke lose that game or UConn win it?
Mixture of both. I think it's a mixture of both. When you look at UConn, you talk about a team that has 2 national championships in the last 4 years. You talk about a coach that has the acumen, and you look at what he's done at every step of the way. I know we're going to get there at some point talking about the Coach Hurley, but if you look at every stop he's made, he's taken that team to a better spot, whether it was Rhode Island, whether it was Wagner. He's gotten those teams to better places. Yeah. And now UConn. And this is an experienced, seasoned team. You talk about the senior move in Caravan to make that pass at the end and not take that shot. Caravan's the second best player on that team. Like, Caravan's the guy that they're having conversations about. They did a little docu-piece before. He was horrible in that game for the majority of it. But because he has that experience, because he has 2 national championships, because he was there with Coach Hurley, has that awareness of national championship, he knows to wait, see the pass in the moment when there's only 3.5 seconds. Duke, on the other hand, well coached by Coach Shire, but it's still a bunch of young guys. Still a lot of young guys trying to figure it out, a lot of 18-year-olds trying to make it happen. So not trying to make it about age versus inexperience.
No,
but
I get it. I get it.
I think it was because too often in these moments we'll take the credit away from one of the sides. Is it Duke lost it or is it UConn won it? If you go one answer, you're taking away. So I think there was a mixture of both. I think Duke lost it with a little bit of inexperience. I think they lost it in their getting cold and not having that secondary player. And maybe you can look at the injury that they suffered before the tournament as not being a part for them. And then UConn, they stayed relentless. They stayed with their ball club. They understood that this is about runs. Like, this is what the Final Four is. How many times have you been in this moment? So I think both deserve the credit.
I hate the word choke because, especially when it comes to a team.
Right.
So people are talking about right now, John Shire's a choke. They conveniently forget how long it took Dean Smith, Mike Krzyzewski, Bill Self, how long it took them to win their first national championship. Okay? And I get it. It's a moment right now where we want everything. And it's a fine line who you're going to blame for all this stuff. Because we need to remind everybody that when you look at Duke and you see the type of talent that they get, they have signed 36 5-stars in the last 11 years. 36. And that's more than any other program, and yet they haven't been able to win a championship. They haven't played for a championship during that stretch. And when you see the fact that they blew a 9-point loss to NC State in 2024 in the Elite Eight, a 14-point lead to Houston in the 2025 Final Four, a 19-point lead there against UConn yesterday, it's hard to live this down until you actually win something.
It is. It realistically is, because on one side I can come up here and talk about, look, man, when you're reloading every year, last year you had a completely different Duke squad, led with completely different leaders. Last year was Cooper Flagg. Last year was Con Knippel. Those guys, after their freshman year, which is everybody, hoopers. Yeah. But now in this era where it's one and done or I'm going over here, now you have to reload every year. And I'm not making excuses because it's Duke. It's North Carolina. You're supposed to be able to do it. You've been doing it for years. But, yeah, it is a little bit tough. It is a little bit tough in that regard. Where I would go against the grain as it relates to, Coach K. Yeah, Coach K. It took him a long time to win. It took Dean Smith a while to win. They didn't have the type of talent that these Duke teams are getting.
They were also building programs. They didn't have an established one.
These programs are established, and these programs are reloading every year. So I would push back a little bit on that.
No, I think you're right. It's the right answer, okay? Because there is a right and a wrong answer, and that is the right one. It's oftentimes why I get tired of hearing about, you and I have had this debate, stars, the 5 stars. You know, I just mentioned they've got 36 in the last 11 years. Who's rating them? How do we know they truly are 5 stars? Now, when you look at the names that you've put up here, sure, they seem like they sure would be, because a lot of them are going on to the NBA. How many people remember Trevon Duval? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many, but it just goes to show you that, you know, obviously the experience helps, the togetherness, the team camaraderie, all those things, the chemistry are all part of it. This doesn't take away from the fact that they're a really good team. They're a really good basketball team. They got beat by a really good team, too.
This is true. To come together as one, I mean, I say that, and Michigan is doing a very similar thing, having reloaded this year, and they're a brand new team. But it's tough, and you want to know that? Go look at Kentucky, right? Because you know who really should be on here is John Calipari as well. All those guys they had at Kentucky, all those number ones, all that money that they have counted for after college in NBA contract.
How many titles
contractually? One.
Right.
All of those, and they were true 5 stars because a lot of them are still hooping.
By the way, you mentioned it last week. Before I left, on Thursday, I believe you said it. Rick Pitino, who just got a new deal, by the way, at his age, which is great. Good for him, 73. He just got a new deal. Look at how good that team was. How much money are they spending in that team?
Yeah.
Okay? And they did. But because he's won before, he gets the slide. Because it's St. John's, he gets a slide. Duke does not get the slide.
Duke's not getting the pass, and it's one of those things that Duke.
And I'm not saying they should, by the way.
They shouldn't and they aren't. Right, it's one of those things where you're Duke. Like all you've built, all you've been through, all the leadership that you've had for the last 50 years under Coach K, and the things and all the players and people coming back. Like you're not going to get that, and you're still getting players. So.
I appreciated actually Dusty May's comments on that as well, because
shout out to Michigan
that one of his players' agents was already reaching out to other schools because they didn't like the time that they were getting. He was like, look, I don't control that. Would I like it to be different? Would I love to be able to establish, some type of consistency with the roster? Yes, but this is the NIL and the portal era, and I have to be elite in that. That's what we're paid to do. That's what we're called to be in this era. That was effectively the sentiment he gave, and I absolutely loved it. And he's saying that while he's also having this type of success. And shout out to Justifan, too. He said, congratulations to Braylon's namesake. And you asked that question of who won or lost.
I appreciate that.
I do think it's a mix of both. But I tell you this, Braylon Mullins won that. From making sure that you can get that steal as well to when you see him coming up the court, he was ready for that shot the whole time. Like I went into Braylon's breakdown mode, and you can see when he plants the left foot and starts to, as the ball handler is dribbling, he's literally stepping little by little in that shoot motion, gets the ball, and is ready for it.
He's got a really nice stroke, don't you think? He's got a really nice
shot.
I
love the way that. Then as soon as he released
quick.
it, you knew it was in.
It's a catch and shoot, quick release.
Yeah, to your point on that, he was getting ready from beyond the logo.
Yep. You can see it.
So the fact that he was already setting up from beyond the logo to take the ball to shoot the shot lets you know how comfortable he feels about his range.
Yeah,
he wanted it. He wanted it. I mean, here's a freshman who wanted the ball in his hands, was not afraid of the moment.
Where he made it from is not where he was trying to shoot it from.
Steph Curry range.
He inched up as he was waiting for Caravan to pass the ball. He's like, all right. He was ready to shoot that from just beyond half-court line. But it was a great game. He said, Braylon, it was dope. Thought about my parents, had this surreal moment. When we talk about ballers and bums, I get a little deeper into the namesake and the moment. But it was indeed a great moment. Shout out to Michigan as well. You mentioned Dusty.
I got that play too. I got the split screen. Shout out to our guy Brendan.
You know what? We got the split screen. Let's do this. Let's say that for Braylon's ballers and bums, and we'll bring it back and we'll use it then. You mentioned Dusty May.
Yeah.
What Michigan doing, man? Like Michigan doing is special. Let me throw something out there real quick before we dive into the Michigan's team.
Yeah, which team? Because there's a couple.
It's three of them.
There's a few you can
It's
talk
three of them. We got shout out to the women who played Texas tonight. Shout out to men's hockey who won last night. It was got a little hairy in there for you.
It was comfy for a little bit. By the way, Braylon Mullins was not very good against MSU.
Okay.
And he wasn't great until that shot against Duke
Right.
either. So kudos to him. But go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say, talking to Dusty May, speaking of the women's basketball team, speaking of the hockey team, kudos to Ward Manuel. Kudos to Ward Manuel. Like, when these things happened with the previous football coach, people had a lot to say about Ward Manuel. When things happened with Jim Harbaugh, people had a lot to say about Ward Manuel. But now that Kyle Whittingham's situation, everybody's talking about how good spring looks so far. Mm-hmm. Everybody's talking about how great of a hire it was in the 25th hour. Everybody's talking about the professionalism that seems to be around the campus. People love Dusty May. They love what Michigan has done in the last 2 years. Who hired Dusty May?
Well, I will say there was a very powerful influence behind that.
Yeah, understood, but same thing. I'm the AD, and this is who I hired. You want to give me all the BS about who I hired and didn't work out?
Yeah.
So
no, you're right. I mean, if you're willing to take the bullets for making a terrible hire in Juwan Howard, which was a terrible hire, and he did, then he deserves credit for the Dusty May.
100%.
100%. Yep. And the same thing with Kyle Whittingham. Yeah. Now, I would caution people on the Kyle Whittingham, who I think you and I both say was a very, very good choice.
It was the best for what was available in the situation and everything. It was the perfect hire for the situation we're in.
I think it's a very good hire no matter the situation, quite honestly. I've always liked him. People aren't going to give him kudos for that until they watch the product on the field.
Right. Yeah. I feel that. I'm just saying, then stop talking about how excited you are about about Kyle Whittingham. Mm-hmm. Stop going online and talk about all these good things. Mm-hmm. Don't say anything until September happens if that's the case.
Amen.
But anyway, this wasn't about Ward. It was more so just to point out just for a moment, this is who hired the Dusty May. So the same energy you brought towards the Sharon Moore situation, the same energy you brought towards Juwan Howard, bring that same energy towards Dusty May, regardless of how big the influence is, because Ward's still sitting in the seat.
And kudos to him who he's come out and said, I want to keep this guy long term. Yeah. This is a guy I definitely want to be the coach at Michigan for as long as
Would you extend him now?
I don't know what his contract situation is. The whole North Carolina thing, I don't believe is doable because I think it's going to be Billy Donovan. Okay, so I think that's what's going to happen. I'm not sure, but listen, what he's done over the last 2 years has been worthy of a contract extension if indeed he's due for one. How much do you pay him? Are you going to pay him? Are you going to make him the highest paid coach in the Big Ten? Those are the things that I'm unaware of, and I can't necessarily speak to.
I think yes. What are we waiting for? At the end of the day, like in a dark time for Michigan, like this has been a bright spot.
Correct.
And not only is it a bright spot, it's something that seems to be doable for him year by year. Mm-hmm. Like it seems like he can reload. He reloaded year one with a team a lot of people didn't understand, and they made it to the Elite Eight. Now he's reloaded again, and now they bring in the defensive Big Ten Player of the Year, Amon-Ra. They bring in the Player of the Year in Yaxel Lindenborg, who's also up for the Naismith, and they're rolling through all the people like a buzzsaw. So when you look at it that way, what are we waiting for? Like this is something that I want to be a part of. This is I'm sure all the Michigan fans out there want to be a part of something long term. He understands this climate. He understands NIL. He understands the transfer portal. He understands how to still bring in guys like Trey McKinney who are from this state and Michigan Basketball Player of the Year. So shout out to Dusty, man, what they're doing. If I was getting it done, I don't care what the deal is right now. Extend him.
I would tell you this, from what I can tell, he makes about 3 points. I hate this. Yeah. Sorry, but this is the way it works with athletes and coaches. Sorry, okay? Because all their numbers are public. And it's not always fair because our numbers aren't public. I mean, Kool-Aid gets dropped off by a limousine, so we just assume certain things. But it's $3.6 million for Dusty May. Do you think he should be behind Greg Gard? Neither do I. Should he be behind Dana Altman? No, he should not. Kevin Willard. Any of these guys. Yeah. Jamie Dixon at TCU. I mean, Mike Woodson is making more money at Indiana than Dusty May. Now, Fred Hoiberg, Coach of the Year, $4.8 million at Nebraska. Is that a basketball school? Show of hands? Absolutely not.
They were this year.
So, yeah, to a certain extent, but not like what Dusty May has done.
I was
right?
being funny.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. But yeah, they were. But the reason I took you seriously because you're right.
Hey, corner hoops. Yeah. Shout out Nebraska.
I mean, how many times have we talked about Mick Cronin? And
at least 4 times.
Yeah, and whether or not that's a good look for his team. He's making $6 million. If you're Dusty May's agent, Ward, how you doing? Hey, I just want to give you some comps here real quick, if it's okay. Mick Cronin's an embarrassment to UCLA sometimes. I've never done that. Mick Cronin was knocked out in round 2. We're going to play, in the Final Four. And look at what I'm doing with your school, okay? And by the way, his kids are well represented. He deserves a bump without question. How high you want to go? Does he deserve to be as high as Tom Izzo, who's making 6.1, or deserve to be as high as Bill Self, who makes more money than any college basketball coach in America at almost 9? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's different times, different standards. Like, I understand Tom Izzo, I understand what he's done, but those days are over. Like, what are you doing? What have you done for me lately? If I'm looking at what Tom Izzo has done lately with this program, like, Dusty May deserves more in this 2-shot period. Bill Self won a national championship. He cheated, but it is what it is. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, so fine. If you want to keep Bill Self, who has 2 total, and he won one more a couple years ago, by all means, I'm fine. But it's a new day, it's a new age, and you should be judged on what you're doing. Dusty May in this 2-year snapshot, he's showing you, like, I'm here for a very long time. And if it ain't here, and I use ain't for effect, if it ain't Michigan, who's willing to pony up? Because you're worth what somebody's willing to pay you.
For sure.
Jim Harbaugh hadn't won a game yet. And when he got here, he was making more than every single coach in the Big Ten except 2. Except 2. So it's what people are willing to pay you.
And Michigan football, obviously different than Michigan basketball, but Dusty May should be, look, with 18 teams in the Big Ten, is it fair to say he should be a top 5 paid coach in the conference? I don't think that's too far out of reach. If it's Underwood, if it's Izzo, if it's Painter, if it's those guys, so be it, okay? He's got to be in that realm, I believe, and he has proven his worth. Now, if he's not going someplace else, if he's not going to North Carolina, and most people don't think he will, because it's going to be Billy Donovan leaving Chicago Bulls for that. I would say this. I think Dusty May has the very good temperament and character for an NBA coach. If somebody's going to make a jump from the collegiate level to the NBA, he seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah. No, 100%. I was thinking something in my head. I like to multitask. I agree 100%. Dusty May goes to the league. I think he can do both. I think he'll be able to get as much out of this younger wave of player, but at the same time be able to be a little chill, be a little relaxed as you have to be. That shot last night was major, Shep. Is that now the shot in NCAA tournament that would be the first shot that you think about? Or does it that's the answer. That's the question.
Yeah, so there's a couple of shots that I think of before that probably, but it'll take some time. It may overtake a Leitner shot, a Jordan shot, and a Bryce Drew shot.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm right. I'm saying those are the things that come to my mind, okay?
I think of
NC State, okay, straight away. Was it Derek Whittenberg?
It was Derek Whittenberg.
Okay. That comes to mind too.
The shots for me from the 80s are like more memorable. They're like in my memory based on watching them over time online, seeing them in paper, things of that nature. My era more so would be Leitner, of course. Like, that's the shot. That's the one they talk about. I don't have a problem with that.
Plus, I think he was 10 for 10 in that game.
He was.
Saw that highlight too many times as a kid.
Crazy, wasn't it?
Here's a more recent one, and it was for the game at the buzzer, and that's the Villanova shot. Villanova versus UNC. Like, I don't think that one can. That's 1B or 1C to Leitner's 1A. And now you look at this shot. I think not only is this just as good and up there, one is from half court. Two, it's not the old school half court where guys are heaving it.
Yeah.
Guys are shooting threes now. Like, that was a shot. He set that up, got it, catch, and shot.
It's like it's in the backyard for horse.
So looking at it that way, and he made it nothing but the bottom cup. And it was against Duke. And it was against a boozer, 2 boozers.
Yeah.
So when you start to add to the moment.
Keep them out of the Final Four. Yeah.
It's how, and a lot of that also is how the shot comes about. So it's
the steal,
the feed, and then that. Of course, what about the UConn shot that was given up by Arcidiaco to not Josh Hart? Who was it? Bridges? Was it Bridges? It was
Bridges, yeah.
Bridges.
Not Bridges.
Mikal Bridges,
Mikal
right?
Bridges, yeah.
Okay, so that's in that conversation. Jordan in North Carolina on the left wing being a sophomore is something. Bryce Drews wasn't as dramatic in terms of the moment on where the tournament was, because I think it was to get into the Elite Eight. I think it was a Sweet 16. It was still an absolute bomb leaning in. Yeah. No. Valparaiso.
But you know what happens with the Jordan shot? And this is coming from a Jordan fan. This is coming from, yes, Jordan, and all the good things. I have nothing negative to say except for here nor there. It's when you go back and watch the play, like what you're sold when you're young is Jordan catches the shot, he's the man, it's this, that, and it's his team, he shoots, he knocks it down, there goes Georgetown, see you later, Patrick Ewing, yo, it's over. But when you watch the highlight, Jordan knocks it down. It's 17 seconds left in the game.
That's true. Yeah.
It's 17 seconds left in the game. He hits the shot. They come up the court. Boom, boom, boom. Turn over to James Worthy. You're like, wait, are they shaving points? Now, I know they're not shaving points. It was one of those, it's nervousness, nerves, or whatever. But you look at the after the shot, you're like, oh, okay, all this stuff happened too. Mm-hmm. Great shot, but. Yeah.
Can I just say
Trey
something
Burke's
because the Christian Laettner
Trey
shot,
Burke's another one.
I think his is underrated.
Like,
I'm gonna ask that. Is it
like,
underrated?
Trey Burke's shot is right there with.
Yeah. It wasn't for the game, but it forced overtime.
No, that was for the game.
No,
that's right. It's overtime. Yeah.
Trust me.
And they won it overtime.
I called it almost passed out. Almost passed out.
I digress.
No, I'm serious. I stood up and I had to sit back down because the entire it played at Cowboy Stadium, Dallas Stadium. I almost passed out. Okay. I was so fired up. I couldn't
It's
believe
real
it.
life.
You got lightheaded.
I did. I got lightheaded. Absolutely. It's like sniffing this Clorox on this microphone mug. Like getting really lightheaded. That was set up by an unbelievable screen by Mitch McGarry.
Yeah.
Okay. But the shot was just incredible.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up because unfortunately for that year in 2013, I am more pissed than pleased because of the block.
Siva.
Peyton Siva. That's what I remember. To your point, I should be remembering the Burke shot and the comeback against Kansas, the opening up of a camel whoop ass against Florida. Okay, the whole tournament and how it started and how nobody, even in Detroit, everybody. You know what? I'm pretty worried about South Dakota State. Who? South Dakota State. Who? You didn't even know their damn nickname, but you thought they were going to beat them at the Palace. And then, oh my God, Shaka Smart and VCU. How are you going to beat that?
Yeah, I remember that time.
Oh my God, it was. They beat the snot out of everybody. En route. Okay.
So when you hear Yaxel Lindeborg, who has been on this new wave that I'm about to talk about probably since the end of the basketball season, saying that this is the best Michigan basketball team of all time.
He said it might be.
But they asked him after this last game. He said it is.
Okay.
Right. He said it might be, to your point. But they just asked him after the Tennessee game, and he changed it to it is. Where do you stand in that conversation? I know, but I'm just asking people. And where do you, at home, stand on that conversation? We'll get a quick commercial break. When we come back,
the tease. That's
going to be the conversation. Let me tell you about Ben Johnson.
Why don't you tell us about Ben Johnson?
Well, he's Ben Johnson Law. He's a fighter. He'll fight for you as well as the people in the chat, man.
Let him. It's
fight for
it's good. He's still talking while he's just looking at me and still talking.
He's still doing the read, man.
Yeah, amen, man.
Whether it's a settlement or a verdict, it doesn't matter, man. He wants all the smoke. They're trial attorneys, Shep. Shep, he's a trial attorney. That means it doesn't matter, man. Corporations, the government.
He's the Yaxel Lindeborg.
He is. Okay. So let him yaks his way to your situation. Make sure you get it done. He's the fighter. I don't know about you,
he's
but
a hooper of lawyers.
Want to fight for me. Get him in your corner. VENFights.com. Ben Johnson Law. Been doing it a very long time at a very high rate. Trust the people we trust.
We are getting ready for a big day in Clarkston. Saturday night, Art and Jake's. Live from Saturday night. It's Michigan and Arizona. Huge Final Four matchup. It's the late game, but Art and Jake's is open with you. Best place to go watch a game. Grab some food, some cold drink, and we're going to be live bringing it there for you every single moment with the action, with the best food, the best drinks that you can possibly find. So join us here, Woodward Sports Network. Grab your crew. Head to Art and Jake's right there in Clarkston. The people there are fantastic. The food's lively. The event is going to be lively too. Check it out Saturday night with us here on Woodward Sports.
I want to talk
even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
I hate to tell you, energy drinks, but you're about to be crushed. Thrive nootropic energy pouches are here to change the game by delivering steady, focused performance in a clean white pouch for a fraction of the cost. And unlike other brands, Thrive comes from an American company that's been leading the way for over 30 years. So stop drinking gut-rot energy drinks and why don't you thrive for a change? It's just better.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, he's a ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Check this out, Planet Fitness, man. We got to get together. We got to overlap and do something. I'm trying to get into the gym. I'm trying to get on video, and I'm trying to do it at Planet Fitness so people can see when I say I go to the gym, when they say I understand that there's no judgment here, that I understand that there's trainers on staff, that the gyms are squeaky clean. The things that I come on here and tell the good people about, they're true. I want people to see that. I want them to see me in action so they can come to the gym. Because you got over 50 of them in the metropolitan Detroit area. There's plenty of gyms to go around. Let's get together, Planet Fitness, and show these people why fitness is essential. You got over 2,700 gyms around the country. We don't even got to go around the country. We can stay here in the great state of Michigan. The great state of Michigan.
You got
get some
ideas.
workouts in. I have ideas.
Yeah, those are good.
And those ideas will work out with Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Must be the Planet Fitness studio.
You feel me? You feel me?
It must be. It must be. Hey, listen, the Tigers are off to a 2-1 start. They play Arizona tonight. Justin Verlander starts for Detroit. First time in a long time that we'll get to for sure. So baseball is back. Join us this Friday, April 3rd, in case you don't have it on your calendar. It's the Grand Slam Opening Day Festival.
Let's go.
We're going to be broadcasting live all morning. Come hang out with Braylon and D-Mac and the whole Woodward Sports crew. We talk baseball. Sip a couple of pops if you get my drift. The madness is going to start at 9 a.m. It's 1526 Broadway Street. 1526 Broadway Street. And it goes all day long, baby. Get your tickets at GrandSlamDetroit.com.
You said you're drinking what over there?
Yeah, a couple of pops, and it's funny. Over the weekend, Went and saw my daughter in East Lansing, one of the last events for her sorority. So family went, and my sons were drinking Sun Cruiser vodka iced teas. And they said it's dangerous. And I said, why is that? I knew why. But they said, because it doesn't taste like anything but a good glass of iced tea. It's clean, it's crisp, it's real vodka, it's real iced tea. I had to tell him, there's no bubbles. Dad, you're right. I said, it's only 100 calories. Dad, you're right. I said, I know I'm right. You don't have to tell me that. I know I'm right. Sun Cruiser, vodka iced tea, the class of whatever class you may be in or not in. Let the good times roll with it. But please drink responsibly.
I'm just very happy and very excited that the name Braylon is not synonymous anymore with just football.
How popular was it way back in the day compared to now?
Well,
how many other Braylons did you know?
Well, I was the only one. It was just me. The only other Braylon that I knew she was a female and she was 2 years younger than me. Detroit. She also was named after me. Our parents in a couple different circles knew each other, so it was a stolen name, but it was just me. So like going through high school, it was just me. Going through Michigan, it was just me. Getting to the NFL, it was just me. So it was always, when you heard Braylon, for better or for worse, like you knew who you're talking about. Which also provides no privacy, by the way.
Do you know if you just do a search?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care if it's DuckDuckGo, Google, whatever you subscribe to. When you say famous people named Braylon, you know the first name that comes up?
Should be.
What name do you think is the first one? Because there's more and more of them now.
Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards.
Yeah, he's the only one.
Mr. Edwards.
It's the OG. Shout out to my parents.
And then it talks about Braylon Edwards show. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's it. That is it. That's crazy. I never realized that.
You know what? Let's do this then. Who are your ballers and bums? Let's jump. Let's get that out the way.
You just okay.
Let's do the ballers and bums and go for it. Get that out the way.
Hey, I was gonna say GAMG in the chat just said, "Yo, my godson was named after you, Braylon."
Wow.
He put the strong emojis with the 100. So shout out. I had to fire that one off.
I got a lot of people named after me. A lot of people call me Jackass, so there's a lot of Jacks out there.
That's the crazy thing. I was having this discussion last night. I was talking to my mom, or I was talking to my aunt. And she was like, how does that feel? That's crazy. I said, no, the crazy thing about it is like Tom Brady's like the greatest of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your son named Tom, he's not necessarily named after Tom Brady. No. Like you can name all the greats. Wayne, if your son named Wayne, it may not be Wayne Gretzky.
No, right.
It's just the name. But when you hear that name, Braylon, like you know exactly where to go.
It's very similar.
It
it's very similar to Peyton.
Yeah.
When Peyton Manning got to Tennessee and blew up and then got to Indianapolis, the amount of Peytons, male and female, went crazy. Mm-hmm. Your name has done the exact same thing, where it wasn't even in the top 1,000s. Now it's in the top 75.
Well, that was 2011, so it might be even higher than that.
Yeah, that's 2011.
Too, because Go Blue really owned it in two sports for a while. Now you're encroaching on one of your Go Blue brethren. For a while, it was a bunch of Braylons in football after you. And in basketball, it was a bunch of Jalen's after Go Blue Man Jalen Rose.
Yeah.
So now you got Braylon Mullins. You're kind of encroaching into Jalen Rose territory now.
Yeah, I appreciate that because he's definitely got a lot of Jalen's that play football and been highly successful. Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts, just to name a few. So shout out. And I think there's a level of my name that is named after Jalen. Like I'm from Detroit. He's from Detroit. So the story with my name as we get into ballers and bums, my ballers for this weekend, Braylon Mullins, I'll start there. Braylon Mullins, hell of a shot. Like to have that type of moxie, to want the ball in that moment, no matter how you've been playing this game, and knock that shot down on the biggest stage, the Final Four stage. To get to the Final Four stage, that was a hell of a shot. That was a hell of a shot by him. Kudos to him. Can't wait to see what this young man does in the future. Indiana, he was electric in his high school career, so kudos to him. He knocked down the shot. But job's not done, sir. The job not done. The key for him and the key for UConn will be to dial it back, reel it back, and get ready for Illinois, who's not playing any games. Shep, the other ballers for me from the weekend.
Oh, you get more than one?
Well, you would appreciate this one. When we're watching this moment last night and you see Braylon Mullins hit this shot, I get a phone call from my father. And I didn't pick up right away because I'm still in the moment. Then I get another phone call from my father. Pick up and we start talking. I can just hear the excitement and the proudness in the name. And then I talked to my mom, who had the same conversation, the same energy, the proudness in the name. So my ballers outside of Braylon Mullins will be how Braylon Mullins got his name. It will be my parents. It will be my father and my mother, and they get equal credit. Here's the equal credit. My mom's friend at the time said that she was going to name her son Braylon if she ever had one, Shep. Well, guess what? My mom took the name, named her son Braylon, and then the lady who my mom got the name from never had any kids. So the name comes from another individual, never had kids, so Braylon became me, and I was the first Braylon. My dad's all state in track, in baseball, in football, basketball, went to Michigan, 3rd round pick, and this is back when the NFL had 15 rounds, if you will, 3rd round pick. He was all Big Ten twice. Like, you see where I'm going with this. He got drafted 3rd overall. In the NFL, Houston Oilers, blocks for Earl Campbell, plays with Warren Moon, like his boy. He could have chose to do what when my mom said, well, I want to name him Braylon.
Stan.
No, thank you. No, I want him to be Junior.
Yeah.
I want him to be Stanley James Edwards Jr., thank God. But I want him to be Stanley James Edwards Jr. My dad said I want him to forge his own path. My dad has always been one, I want you to forge your own path. I don't want you to have to live in somebody else's shadow. And it's nothing wrong with if you name juniors. I got friends that are the 4th. Shout out to HG.
Could have done that with your brother, too.
100%.
After you, he could have done that with your brother, or he could have done it with both of you like George Foreman did.
But he took the ego out of it and wanted his kids to chart his own path, man. So shout out to my mom for getting the name, standing firm on the name, and shout out to my dad saying, hey, look, you know what? I want our son to chart his own path. So the ballers for this week are Braylon, Stan, and Melissa.
Those are the best ballers we've had.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree.
Especially because your mom's an unbelievable cook and your dad's just an unbelievable guy.
I love the guy, both Braylons.
Really, one of the best guys you'll ever meet. Stanley Edwards is one of the best guys you'll ever meet.
They created, but in a sense, that moment last night is created by those two for coming up with the name.
Have you been a fan of Braylon Mullins all season long? Or?
I saw him. No, I'm not going to say I was out here like, yo, Braylon Mullins is going to kill this because it's the same name. I saw that he had the same name during the Big Ten season, paid attention a tad bit here or there, but I wasn't necessarily following him. I didn't even know his number, so when he hit the shot, I'm like, who the heck? And then they go back and they say Braylon Mullins. So, yeah, that was.
I think that sometimes we got to pay a little bit more closer to attention to the sports gods. When you got the basketball player of the year from Indiana and you got a chance to send your team to Indiana for the Final Four, we probably should have connected those dots a little bit. Like Team USA winning gold against Canada, right? Remember
you're not lying.
Remember how it lined up?
The same day, it was like the nephew was on the team.
The birthday of Johnny Gaudreau's son.
Yeah.
So we didn't do that enough.
And Michigan's in the Final Four. Like on top of it,
exactly.
The institution that my dad and I went to,
so
are in the Final
Four. There's that connection.
Well.
It's crazy.
So Braylon might actually play against Michigan,
and then you might be torn. Here's you want him to have a good game, but not to win.
Facts.
Here's my baller. It's Dominic Smith. So Dominic Smith, it's a really good story
I love
about this guy who's been a journeyman in Major League Baseball. 2 weeks ago, he lost his mom to cancer. Saturday night, he comes in a pinch-hitting role with the bases loaded and hits a home run. It's his first at-bat with his new team, and his team wins 6-2. So he is the first player in MLB history, according to Elias Sports Bureau, to hit a walk-off grand slam in his debut with his new team. And when you see it, without trying to get too emotional here, because we're all emotional about our moms. When you see it, and you see the reaction, and you think, is there some divine intervention here? Quite possibly.
I don't believe it's quite possible, man. It definitely is. Like, God speaks to us, and God shows us that He's present. God shows us that He's available. What was the baseball player, the pitcher for the Miami Marlins that got in a car accident and passed? And then his best friend wore his jersey, went on his side of the plate, and is not even a home run hitter. Hit that bomb for the Marlins. Like, he's not a home run hitter, Shep. He had 2 home runs that season.
Yeah.
And one of the one times he hits a home run is in the day they're honoring his best friend, his former teammate. They're all wearing the number. He goes up there and hit a ball as far as he's ever hit a ball in his life. And that's not a mistake. And sometimes we got to actually pay attention to those moments.
I think you're absolutely right about that. There is some divine intervention. I believe it was a boating accident, not a car accident. Yeah. And I think it was Jose Fernandez.
Yes, that's exactly
I believe
what it was.
So anyway, but you're right about that. Anyway, this one tugged at my heart for sure, and rooting for him.
Good
so for sure. So that's my baller. Who's your bum?
I think you're gonna laugh at my bum, and we'll have a deeper conversation. But just in the moment for what it was, it's Tiger Woods. As more things unfolded about T. Woods, as more things unfolded over the weekend, everybody has issues. Everybody has things that they can necessarily get help for. So I'm not judging that situation. I always have been through my trials and tribulations, things of that nature. So I want him to get the help that he needs. Mm-hmm. But the bum side of it is, sir, get yourself a car. Sir, stay away from the wheel. Because it's not about yourself. It's not like you got pulled over. And when you got pulled over, we found out that you were OUI or you were DUI. And then the car, police put you in the car, and then you go down to the station. You flipped the car for the third time. Could have killed somebody.
Right.
And as much as I tell, I will never change. The Tiger is one of my GOATs. He's iconic. The things that I saw him come through, the things I saw him as an Asian black man in 1997, to be as elite as a talent, to put that much work in the sport, he'll always be my guy. But two things can be true. And the other thing that's true is consistently he's put himself in this situation. Consistently he's put other people in this situation. What I mean by other people on the roads. Mm-hmm. And consistently, and it hurts to say this because Tiger's my guy, he's been covered up for. Yep. So when I look at it like that, he is a bum for how this situation is played out on the heels of, once again, rebuilding yourself up to a level of status. And then here comes the situation, knock you down, and now we all have to come to and say, oh, I feel bad for Tiger, and Tiger's got to do this. 100%, Tiger's got to get himself some help. But on the other side, you got to stop putting yourself in this situation, because now it's not just about you. It's about the people that are in your atmosphere, people that are in your reach.
Yeah, and by people allowing that, then it just gets worse and worse and worse. He's the most dominating athlete. There was a period of time where he was the most dominating athlete I've ever seen. He is an all-time great. It's debatable, but with him and Jack Nicklaus, it's no big deal. I wish him well, too. I hope he gets help.
Same.
Because I think there's a lot of things that he's done that are really good for not just golf, but for people in general.
Yeah, I agree.
And helping those who are less fortunate. But this is stained. Here's what I wish. Instead of everybody fawning over his comeback, that is not happening, and most people should know that it wasn't going to happen, how about fawning over what Gary Woodland went through? But no, let's not do that, because Gary Woodland never reached higher than number 12 in the world and has only won 5 PGA tours or 5 PGA events and 1 major. He came back from a lesion on his brain where they thought he was going to be paralyzed. He had he had PTSD. He was going in a round. He was going into the bathroom and breaking down and crying. He was waking up in hotels, clutching his mattress, and he wins yesterday. And what did you, Min Woo Lee? Did you see what he did? He stood and just clapped. Told everybody, just clap. Give him his walkway to the 18th green. Let's focus on some really positive things once in a while, and see how that might affect people. For some reason, we in the media can't seem to do that. Here's a guy who was losing his grip. Didn't even know what club he had in his hand while he was on the green, taking the putter back because he was so freaked out. That's how bad his brain was. And he's come back, and look at what he did, and he won the Houston Open the other day by 5 strokes. It's an unbelievable story. Here's my bum. My bum is Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams wants to call himself Iceman.
Where this one's going.
Okay. He wants to call himself Iceman. As I tweeted out the other day, Iceman is not in a frickin' movie with Tom Cruise. It's not a commercial. It's not a cartoon. There's one Iceman.
Talk about it.
Okay? And it's George Gervin, who won 4 scoring titles, was a top 75 player of all time when he retired, and he is truly what everybody sees as the Iceman. Now, why in the world he hasn't patented that, copyrighted Iceman, is beyond me. But Caleb Williams tries to do that, and he gets some pushback from guys like George Gervin. How can you be the Iceman when you lose to a team that finished last in your division not once but twice and throw 58% completion percentage? Is that the Iceman? Like Iceman Patrick Mahomes? Okay. Iceman Joe Montana, you better believe it. Iceman Tom Brady, absolutely. Caleb Williams, I think not. He's my bum.
I want to get back to something you said about Gary Willen, but I'll talk about this first. We just live in this era. Like, this is the era we live in, and you got to move down the line. Like, technically, if you want to be honest, like, George Gervin isn't the first Iceman. The first Iceman was in a comic book, if you want to go there right. And his name is Iceman, not the Iceman. So if he wanted to find some branding situation and maybe call himself Iceman, who knows? But to your point, he does necessarily have to do more. As it relates to Gary Willen, you're absolutely correct. Like, I actually had him picked to win the Houston Children's. I think it was the Houston. I did.
Houston Open, yeah.
100% I had him win.
You had it?
I got a little worried after day 3 when Hogarth got close, but you saw he finished out on day 4. But the reason why the media always do that, look how much money Tiger Woods has made the sport. Now,
Sure. Yeah.
So it's when you look at Tiger Woods, you talk about a comeback. You're talking about instantly the thought of billions being made, whether it's media, whether it's PGA, whether it's whoever the hell he's wearing these days, Latiger and Nike. It's just money for that. So that's more so why the comeback of Tiger. You know how much money he's made that sport?
Absolutely.
Do you know what the sport is?
I don't even think we can comprehend it. Quite
we
honestly.
don't. I can't.
I can't.
I can't put it.
I can't comprehend it. But what I can say, first of all, you've taught me this. Two things can be true at the same time. You can do both, you know. It doesn't have to be just on one guy.
That's fair.
And how long are we going to talk about the comeback? That's all I'm asking. It's his last championship was the Masters? 2019.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to still be talking about this in, he's 50 years old now? Are we going to start talking about this in 2 more years? 3 more years when he swings a club?
Probably.
Like, okay, enough.
How long did your guy play? Like, let's change the conversation. How long did the Golden Bear play? He played professional golf. Like, obviously he didn't have car accidents or he didn't have military training and mess his back up. But he played till 62 on the tour.
That's a good question. I don't know if he played until he was 62 on the PGA Tour, in the senior tour.
Let's say 60.
Yeah, okay.
All right, 60.
Let's say 60s. I'll have to look that up. I don't know how long it was where he played on the PGA Tour.
When you look at Tiger, when you look at golf, and you look at the guys that have come before, how long they played for, it's like, yeah, every time I hear Tiger Woods, I'm going to get excited because he's still 50. So it's like, oh, yeah, Tiger can still do it because it's what you're looking at. You're looking at his body. You're looking at him laughing during the TGI. I mean, he won't be laughing anymore for a while. But you're looking at him in this space. It's like, yeah, Tiger, cause the comeback feels real. Well, he came back and he won in 2019. So I think he's still at that age where the comeback is believable. But after this situation, I think it's off the books.
Yeah, it's a tough example because I don't think Jack Nicklaus has had to come back, quote unquote, from
the
injuries, from the injuries that Tiger Woods has had to have, or because of some of the negative publicity that he's had. So it's a little different, I think, when you're talking about the two examples.
Very true.
So,
very true.
But those are good. We'll take them in the chat. Your Braylon's ballers or bums. Yeah. I do want to get to one thing in the chat because somebody had brought this up. Excuse me, and that was regarding a couple of things. There's some really good things, but one is that somebody had said Izzo has done more with less at Michigan State. And I think that's a common theme. That's a common theme for people, and I think it's flat out wrong. And I'll tell you why it's wrong. First of all, I think it doesn't do Tom Izzo justice. Because Tom Izzo, part of coaching is not just X's and O's, all right? It's not just adjustments during a game. It's recruiting. And he's a hell of a recruiter, all right? So when people say he's done more with less, that's wrong. Adrian Payne, you could name off all. Now, is he getting as many 5 stars as Duke and North Carolina and Kansas? No, he's not.
All right, is he having as many people leave after 1 year? No, he's not.
No, he's not.
On the other side of that.
That's correct. Yeah. So you look at Adrian Payne, you look at Devontae Davis, you look at Cassius Winston, you look at Keith Appley. Hell, you can go back to Paul Davis. Who was the high school?
Paul Davis, Allen Anderson,
high school player of the
Kelvin
year.
Tolbert,
okay,
Chris
these
Hill,
guys
Shannon Brown.
these guys are all 5-star. Hell, you guys, Foster Lawyer was a 4-star. Matt McQuaid was a 4-star. So how they do is not the point. The point is you're saying that he's done more with less. When he brings them in, they are 4 and 5 stars more oftentimes than not.
At the end of the day, you know what that is. That's Michigan State. And I have been very nice to Michigan State for the past 3-4 years, maybe since the 2021 conversation. But look, I'm not putting up with this BS anymore. Let it go. Your team did not make it to the Final Four. Your team did not get to they did not get past UConn, and now all of a sudden because your team didn't make it, now here comes all the other stuff. Well, he's done more with less. Well, Yaxel Lindenberg is 26 years old. That's a dumbass comment that I heard today. Who's like, well, he should play well. He's 26. First of all, he's 23. And second of all, last time I checked, fifth-year seniors have been 23 for 100 years now.
That's right. Yeah.
For 100 years, they've been 23. Did you say that when you found out that Indiana's quarterback was 25? Did you say that about Bo Nix?
Or Miami,
or Michael Henderson?
Miami's
or
quarterback.
Miami? No. How about Miami's whole squad?
Right.
Minus the receiver. Mm-hmm. Right,
They're like older than the Carolina Panthers.
Messidor's 25.
Yeah.
Nobody had a problem with that.
Yeah.
But it's Michigan, the team in your state, that's going on to the Final Four. So now you got to have a conversation about me. Oh, well, Tom didn't have this. Well, they did this. Well, they cheated in football. Last time I checked, football and basketball are two different sports. Like, what are we talking about? Like go down and go sit somewhere. Figure out what the hell your football team is going to be this year. Be happy that Michigan State is actually providing you with a new stadium, thank God, a $2.4 billion project. Worry about that and worry about next year. All this, the BS you guys do, all you do is whine. All the Michigan State fans do is whine. Wait till March. March comes and now you're pissed off at something else. Like, go sit down somewhere.
Well, I would assume, I think it's fair to assume, that was a Spartan follower. I'm looking at it from the standpoint that I don't think it's fair to Izzo to say that he's done more with less.
Because it's diminishing how good of a coach he really is.
Correct. It's diminishing what he does as well as anything else. Is he motivated? Is he tough? I love that about him. Yeah. Does he have great X's and O's? Absolutely. But he can recruit too. You guys are acting like he's trying to recruit to Mount Pleasant. That's my alma mater. So I can say that. Okay, and that's just not true. It's just not fair. Somebody said my baller's Kevin McGonigal. My bum is Tennessee men's basketball. Tennessee surprised me.
He should have been there.
It surprised me that they got there.
Not fair to say.
And Kevin McGonigal, when 4 hits in his debut, game-winning RBI in the second game, 0 for 4 in game 3 with 3 punch-outs. That's why what we said on Thursday. Can we just be fair with the kid? And he's going to have some ups and he's going to have some downs. That's the way it is when you're 21 years old in your first year in the major leagues, okay? Yeah. So as great as he was in the first 2, the third one, not so much. It's okay. I don't have a problem with it. I love his approach no matter what. And I've predicted this before, and I'll predict it again. He's going to hit the top of the lineup at some point in this season because Kerry Carpenter's off to a struggling start. He's going to hit in the top of the order because he sees a lot of pitches, he gets on base, and he puts ball in play. Really important.
Yeah.
So good baller and a good bum. All right, quick timeout. Let's do some Lions on the other side. The Detroit Lions, Dave Burkett wrote a very interesting article late last night in the Detroit Free Press. He sat down with Rod Wood, probably the wrong guy you want talking about your franchise. He made some things. He made a very strange example, but he said some things about why this team is where they are right now. We'll get their thoughts on the chat on that, and of course Braylon's as well after this from Estate's Title and Pure Psychiatry.
I can't wait to talk Lions because we got some other stuff, something that they're not doing anymore that they've been doing the last 2 years, but Dan Campbell says no more. Estate's Title. You know what time it is with my guy Naveed Sahad. They've been doing it for over 20 years, so the experience is real. One thing about them, man, the Estate Title Agency wants to make the closing simple and convenient. Simplicity and convenience. Your Southeast Michigan partner for smooth, secure lendings. And also, too, they're making sure if you're buying a home, refinancing a home, it does not matter. The experience that they have, they can make things easy for you, convenient for you. How about convenience like this? They even have nighttime as well as weekend closings, and they will even pull up to where you're at. Drop the pin, drop the location, they'll pull up to you and they'll close the deal. See, this is what Naveed and Sahad, this is what they do. They're going to make everything easy for you. So come on down to State Title Agency because we got plans for you.
I want you to think of Caden Boozer when I talk about this, all right? Here's a kid. He's got to be tough. He does. Physically and mentally, he's got to be tough, especially the latter because of what he just endured against UConn, turning it over and then UConn winning with basically a buzzer beater. It's not easy, man. Pressure is there. He's had the highs of winning. He's had the lows of losing. I hope he knows he's not alone. Pure Psychiatry wants him to know he's not alone. They provide personalized psychiatric designed specifically for you. That psychiatric care is not cookie cutter. It's not the same for you as it would be for Caden Boozer or for me or anybody else. They tailor it to your needs. You come first with Pure Psychiatry. 16 locations in the state of Michigan, 2 locations in the state of Ohio. Go online and find what's the easiest and most convenient for you, and they'll help you on your road to recovery. PurePsychMI.com.
I hate to tell you, energy drinks, but you're about to be crushed. Thrive nootropic energy pouches are here to change the game by delivering steady, focused performance in a clean white pouch for a fraction of the cost. And unlike other brands, Thrive comes from an American company that's been leading the way for over 30 years. So stop drinking gut rot energy drinks and why don't you thrive for a change? It's just better.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Bye.
Michigan Sports.
You know what time it is?
Hall of Fame,
gotta recognize. Hey, look, man.
Ooh, you got some goodies over here, huh?
Look, I put that work in on the field. You know what time it is, but that's besides the point. This is about family. This is about the city. This is about my team, and my team includes Woodward Sports. Oh, my God. I got my boy Brandon Dent in the building. KG over there, man.
Sir.
Same show. This is just a blessing to be here, man. Blessing to be with my fan. Yo, Woodward Sports, you never know what the F is going on, but it's always going to be good, though. Tell you.
Let's go.
Tell you.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. The game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
If y'all haven't got the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports, there is still time. Get on it because you can place any bet up to $1,000. And if you lose, you get that bet back. All you got to do is scan the QR code, enter the code Woodward1000. If that first bet doesn't hit, you get that deposit back up to $1,000. You heard it. One whole stack back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today. The official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen. And it is time to ditch those midday crashes from those sugary energy drinks. And time to level up with Thrive Energy pouches, which are made right here in the US of A. Thrive not only delivers fast-acting energy, but elite cognitive focus using all-natural caffeine. Best part, all clean, all energy, zero sugar, zero crash. Grab Thrive Energy by scanning the QR code right now on your screen or visit dipstop.com to grab a tin. Use promo code WSN at checkout to get 15% off your entire order. Seriously, y'all? They just effing work.
Not many things go better with sports than Sam Adams cherry wheat. It's brewed with Michigan cherries, real Michigan cherries. It's light, it's refreshing. You see that body of beer right there? That's good looking, isn't it? That's a true beer, folks.
Look at those cars.
Yeah. That's a really good looking glass too, but I mean, it's a really good taste. I mean, you can have a couple of those and say, now that's what a beer is supposed to taste like. And $5 shorts of Sam Adams cherry wheat at our friends Art and Jake's location across Michigan, especially on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Sam Adams cherry wheat, please drink responsibly.
Hey, and we back.
We back. Been around the world.
You know what's going on in Arizona? The NFL's annual spring meeting, right? They're at the Biltmore Hotel, which has got a really nice golf course, by the way.
I've played there a couple times.
It's nice, isn't it? Even if you don't bring your own clubs, they've got, when I was playing, I think they had Big Berthas when I played there.
Same.
But it was a while ago. But those, I mean, they give you a nice set.
I spoke at the Rookie Symposium in 2000.
Nice.
I want to say 2008 or 2006 or 8. It was an even number. It was 8.
Making an impact.
100%. Spoke at the Rookie Symposium, man. Played the Biltmore. Had the time of my life. Played La Costa, too. Because they're always either the Biltmore or La Costa. out there.
I played Saturday. It was 28 degrees when I teed off. It was 28 degrees. Sunny skies, but I played.
Speaking of Michigan State and speaking of golf, yesterday on my way to church, my track in to church, shout out feels a little different, man. I go to Life Church, Southfield, right there at 9 and Lazar, and when you come from west, down 9 Mile, across Telegraph, when you come in, you know what I'm talking about. What's about to be on the right-hand side is Plum Hollow.
Plum Hollow, yeah.
100%.
Underrated.
Put a lot of work into it, 22, 23, and it looks really good. Shout out to them. And Calvin had his outing there, his first outing there.
Oh, cool.
So that's what let me see the new work that they're doing. I digress. Anyway, I was noticing a theme from all the guys that I saw golfing, or all the individuals that were golfing when I was driving by around 11 on the way to church. They were all wearing green and white.
Really?
Because their team wasn't playing that one.
Okay, I got you.
It was we're free all day.
That's a good point.
That's another point.
Shout out, man.
I got a buddy who belongs there. It's a really underrated place.
Yeah.
Locker room is nice.
It really is. I played in an outing last year. Midnight Golf had their golf outing out there, and I played there. It was a lot of fun. But speaking of Arizona, coming back here, Dave Burkett of the Free Press had a really good, insightful interview with Rod Wood, the Lions team president, soon to be ex-team president, all right? And they were talking about basically what are you doing in the offseason and what's the mindset, what's the strategy. He reaffirmed what you and I have talked about, and they're doing this because they want to extend their young players. How many will they be able to do that? We're not sure. He says this. It reminds, when we're talking about trying to get a defensive end opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, he says, it reminds me so much of everybody saying we needed another receiver opposite of Calvin. And when you have one of those guys, trying to get another one is really hard. How many teams have two? We've asked that question before, and we've come up with a couple of different answers, but it's going to be different now because, Green Bay no longer has those quote-unquote two. And then he said, it'd almost be like you have a great starting quarterback as a backup because there just aren't enough guys to go around. And then you pay one like we did with Aiden to try and pay another. Let's say you did that. And let's say you now have $75 million or $80 million of your cap tied up with two pass rushers. Right. You're giving up something else. So would we love to have another great pass rusher? Yeah. But we'll probably have to find one in the draft or go out instead of going out and paying top dollar for him. That's fair. Yeah. The quarterback is a bad example. It's a stupid example. Only one quarterback plays. Aiden Hutchinson and another defensive end does play. Calvin Johnson there is another wide receiver. Yeah. Yeah,
throwing Calvin out there was stupid too. You're not going to find another Calvin Johnson in the history and the annals of football. Like, they're throwing that out there. This once again just seems like a situation where, how do I say this? Listening to this interview and thinking about the things, they're like, oh well, we're going to move through the draft. We're doing this to extend our players. Like, you knew this was going to be the whole process like last year, and you didn't do this last year.
Exactly.
Like, so you don't get credit, in my opinion, and this is just me. You don't get credit for coming up here and having an intelligent conversation that should have took place last year. Now, with your last year offseason did not work out. Your last year moves didn't necessarily pan out. The draft, you're still trying to figure out. There were no trade deadline moves. And now, after not making the playoffs, here we come into a situation where, like, well, this is what we're doing. You don't say that about Calvin Johnson. You don't say that about having a backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. We're going to go through the draft. We'll move through the draft to make our team good, and we'll extend. Well, just keep that format. That could have been last year. Mm-hmm. So you don't get to trot out something that makes sense and you do it a year late, but then come at us like we're wrong. Because it sounded, what's the word I'm looking for? It sounded like they were sarcastically talking about the fan base, sarcastically talking about analysts, sarcastically talking about media, who absolutely have a point to make some of the comments and the remarks that we've made in the last 18 months. So you don't get to have a bad season like you did and then make moves as it relates to depth. I love depth, but it's just been about depth. Like, that's all it is.
But here's the other thing that he's perhaps not seeing that fans and members of the media are questioning, and it's a fair question. We're not always right, but it's a fair question. Why do you feel like you have to extend these guys sometime soon rather than taking the money it would take to extend them and spending it on an impactful player right now to give you the chance to kick in the door in 2026-27?
Because they're scared.
What's there to be scared of?
They're scared of going back to a place that they were. Like right now, the Detroit Lions are experiencing a boom they've never seen. And that's what we've said. Even though they've made some playoffs and even though they went to the NFC Championship, in terms of collective and consistency, the Lions never had 4 seasons in the last 40 years where they were winning. You're talking about 2 seasons where they were 15-2, 12-5, NFC Championship, number 1 seed in the NFC Conference. They're looking at the players they've drafted and they're looking at this sustained success. They like being talked about. They like having a chance. I don't even know if they want to necessarily win the Super Bowl, but they like being in the talks. They like being in the conversation, and that's what they're trying to sustain. He talked about it last week. Brad Holmes did. The sustainability. We want to make sure we're good for a very long time. What this sounds like is you're trying to sustain. Last season got you a little bit nervous because you didn't do the things necessary, and then you went 9-8 and didn't make the playoffs. It sounds like, well, we don't ever want to be where we were in 2020.
Right.
And 19, and 18, and 17, and 15, and 90. You can just start guessing years and you'll probably be right. They don't ever want to be that. They want to be some version of fighting for 12 wins each year and being a good team. And kudos to them if that's what they're trying to do. If that's the direction, then fine. Then I'll take a step back in terms of what my expectations are. As I have said.
But you know that don't settle with the people. That don't settle with the people.
What?
They want that Super Bowl that they were promised.
At
one point in time,
do they want the Super Bowl?
Fans.
Do they want the Super Bowl?
Who, the team or the fans?
The fans.
They say they do.
Do they truly want the Super Bowl? Because a lot of these moves that they're doing, a lot of these double talk that they're doing, a lot of these conversations that they have, the people are supporting it. The people are doubling down on it. The people are like, let Brad cook. The people are like, well, we got Amon-Ra St. Brown. We have Jahmyr Gibbs. We got Ada Hutchinson. We got Jack Campbell. We got Penei Sewell. Like, this is the best. Like, no, just trust them. Let them cook. They drafted these guys. They won't allow the moves that were wrong to enter their mind because they're doubling down on this. So that's why I say, do they really want a Super Bowl, or do they want to act like they want to win a Super Bowl and they just want good football?
They just
I think most are against what has recently happened. I think there are some that do, like you said, let them cook, let Brad cook. In Brad Holmes we trust. But I think the majority of Lions fans, to put it mildly, are disappointed with the offseason. Now, as I've said before, if I'm Brad Holmes, I don't do what's best in the fans' minds. I have to do what is best in my mind.
And it don't mean you dislike him if you disapprove of this offseason.
If you start general managing and coaching for fans, you're going to end up as one.
Yeah.
So, but he's got to live with it too, okay? And here's the other thing. It doesn't help that not only did you finish last, but the guy who left your program finished ahead of you, and now that team is doing things that many Lions fans, fair or unfair, wish your team would do. Who are they linked to recently? Von Miller.
Khalif Raymond.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud?
You heard his comments.
They got... Yeah, I mean, I don't have... All due respect to Khalif Raymond, I have no problem losing Khalif Raymond. I don't think it's... I don't think that's going to push you over the top or sink you by any stretch. But they need help at pass rush. Chicago. And now they are linked to Von Miller, who I know is older, but he had 9.5 sacks last year.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to cost him about I saw somewhere close to $6 million. Okay. If they get him. I don't know if they're going to get him, but it hasn't signed yet.
I wasn't tripping on losing Khalif Raymond. It's just more of the conversation. Like, when you see guys like Khalif Raymond, and I know it's a money thing. Maybe he wouldn't have got the money he was deserved here, so he chose to go over there. Now he's having a conversation. Yeah, I had to go with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson knows what he's talking about. He's a winner and la, la, la. Mm-hmm. I just question if people if they still believe. I'm talking about players. Do the players still believe in what the situation is? Do the players still believe? I ain't talking about the ones that's under contract for a very long time. Like, they have to. They're going to. Do the players believe in what the Lions are and what the Lions can be moving forward?
How do you think it looks in the Taylor Decker situation, where Decker has come out with Justin Rogers and invited him over to his house, and in so many words, I'm paraphrasing here, thought he was going to get a little bit more from the Lions, and it's been basically radio silent? I mean, people in the chat are sitting there saying, look, Taylor Decker was not great at what he did.
He wasn't, and the price went down.
Yeah, I thought he was I think he was a very steady left tackle, all right? People have the same feeling about Jeff Backus here. I suppose sometimes unless you forget or unless you replace that person with an elite player, maybe you don't appreciate them quite as much. It's kind of like the Frank Ragnow thing. You know, Frank Ragnow is more established and better at his job than Taylor Decker was at his. But I'd take Taylor Decker for another year at my left tackle. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a Pro Bowler. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but I think he's a very good player, and I could see them using him for another year. But his numbers, you're right. To your point, his value, not his numbers, his value is not what he expected it to be, would be my guess.
I just don't understand how you have a lack of production, how you have a decrease in production, a very noticeable decrease in production over the last 2 seasons, and now, by the way, didn't he get an extension 2 years ago?
Taylor Decker?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, didn't he get an extension? Oh, this also comes with the territory. When you don't perform, like when they can now look at you as older, more injury riddled, missing more games, looking at film, getting beat, getting blown by. You know what I'm saying? Like, we start to look at that, your worth goes down. And just like we have the ability to extend you, give you more cash, bump you up a little bit because you did do something noticeable, we can go the opposite way. And I believe that's what the Lions are doing. You're not a $21 million left tackle right now. Based on film, based on what they've seen, that might be 10. That might be 12. I don't know what the number is, but you're worth less. So as opposed to complaining about what the Lions didn't do for you, I mean, it sounds very Ohio State to me. But
yeah, well, I would say, I think Brad Holmes deserves some credit there.
Yeah, like,
and he hasn't received much at all.
So stop. Don't go on this world tour. Woe is me. And I thought it'd be more conversation. I thought they'd be a little better. I thought they would come to me. What have you done for this organization that you thought that? Like, what haven't they given you that you feel owed, realistically? So I push back a little bit on Taylor Decker. Like, yesterday's price ain't today's price.
Amen to that. Look, you and I both thought that Rasheed Walker was going to make more than $1 million, didn't you?
Hell yeah.
I sure as hell did.
What does he got going on that's got his value that low?
Amen.
Yeah, like what's going on in off season or something? Because there's no way that's the case.
And he's not the only tackle. There are others who you thought were going to make a hell of a lot more money than they ended up signing for.
Yeah.
Reading those tea leaves, you would have thought Taylor Decker might have been a little bit smarter about his business.
Yeah, this is true. You look at those tea leaves and you look at what's going on this offseason, you see all the prices coming down with the exception of a couple players. But you see those prices coming down. I feel like this is a market reset, and this is getting close on a meeting of the players as well as the owners. Not this year, but next year. I think this is starting to be the precursor of it.
Yeah, well, Brad, look, your chat right now is saying the approval rating of Brad Holmes, 14% of the chat say high, 43% of the chat say mid, 33% of the chat says low, 9% say that they have no approval or confidence in Brad Holmes.
9% say low. That's interesting. I thought it would have been
no, and 9% say no, none at all. They have none
at all. Okay.
Yeah, so that low to none is actually carrying about 40% combined. The mid is 50. Nobody has high confidence in him right now at all.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think each one of those rankings from the chat is right. Like, I know this sounds crazy because it's 4 different ones. If you want to say 43%, yeah, don't believe it, I understand that. I understand what they don't believe. I understand the moves that confuse them. I understand what makes them uneasy. If you want to talk about the 14% still believing in Brad Holmes, well, you know what? We just named a bunch of players that are all pro or going to be all pro or going to get money. They're ranked in the top 10 in the NFL at their various positions, some top 5. So they're also right. And some of the things that he did, adding depth is a smart move. I wish this would have been last season. Cade Mays and Roger McCrary and moves like that, but you know what? It's a year later and you're still a really good version of yourself. A lot of people rank what Brad Holmes has done as a decent pick. I think these are the media that they're leaking themselves, but I digress.
But here's my question when it comes to Taylor Decker, and there's nothing against Taylor Decker because I appreciate his 10 years of service, 11 years of service, whatever.
I heard
it was.
Ben Johnson reached out.
Was he ever a Pro Bowler?
He was not,
and that's the other. He never was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah,
talk about it.
Yeah, that's been a little surprising, but because it's not like there's a bunch of left tackles out there that make you go, oh my God, he's the second coming of Anthony Munoz.
Right.
But I'm a little surprised that Taylor Decker's camp didn't recognize the market. Who made the most money? Which tackle in the offseason made the most money? It's a guard tackle. It's David Edwards. He's making $15 million a year. Remember, you said it. Yeah. Taylor Decker, $21 million. He walked away. Okay? We mentioned Rasheed Walker. It's $10 million.
Yeah.
Who else? Braden Smith was the other tackle that people talked about. What's he making? He signed a 3-year deal, I believe, worth $25 million, or maybe it was a 2-year deal. But it sure wasn't a lot more. It wasn't a lot of money, at least based on what left tackles make in historically. So I'm a little surprised that Taylor Decker's camp didn't read the proverbial tea leaves and say, maybe we should. Can I use the phrase?
Yeah.
Maybe we're good. Maybe we're okay.
I think that camp looked at it from the standpoint, who has the Detroit Lions taken care of? Like outside of who do they take care of? This regime.
Their own.
And even though they didn't draft Taylor Decker, which is maybe where they missed, talking about Taylor Decker's camp, maybe they missed out on the fact that this particular regime didn't draft him. Even though he's been there, even though he spoke out, they didn't draft him. I think they thought, I've been a Dan Campbell. He's been a Dan Campbell guy. He spoke out. That he was the first one to try to get people on board, this, that, and the third. He's earned the money. It was already in his deal. This is the last year, right off in the sunset. I thought they just assumed because of all of those factors, this is what's going to happen. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a business. And when you see your team flirting with making the playoffs, I don't care what you've meant to an organization. Everybody has a conversation on deck. Everybody has a conversation. When you're looking at a tackle that's 11 years in the game and decreasing noticeably, you had to know.
I think the Lions are the opposite of what the Tigers. The Tigers gave Clayburgh Torres a qualifying offer. They couldn't believe he accepted it, and he did. Taylor Decker overplayed his hands, and the Lions said, we're okay. We're going to move Penei Sewell to left tackle. That was part of the plan anyway.
Yeah.
And we've got ourselves a right tackle, and Larry Borum, even if we don't address the tackle position. The more Brad Holmes, and in this case, Rod Wood, talk about guys like Larry Borum, the more I think they may go in a different direction than I originally thought they would early in the draft. I'm not saying you draft a tackle in the first round, but I thought it might be first or second round, where now you might be at one of those situations where you're getting the pass rusher and you're getting somebody in your secondary.
Going away from the tackle position.
Well, I want you to think about what they've done.
Go ahead.
What have they addressed more than anything else?
Offensive line?
Absolutely.
Offensive line?
Depth and offensive line. Now, whether they have a starter or not, I don't know. These are the same people who thought Graham Glasgow was going to start at center for us. Same people who said Christian Mahogany's going to start at guard. They have certain beliefs, and they stick with those beliefs. They are diehard in their beliefs. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying they have an idea of how they wanted to build that line. And if you think about it, I don't know who's going to play the left guard. I like Miles Frazier over Christian Mahogany. If you do that and you feel like you've got you got 4 guys, 4 of your 5 that you feel pretty good about, and he has spoken glowingly about Larry Borum, they might be going a different direction than I originally thought.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because if that does happen, I can go crazy. Then I don't want to go crazy right now, and it doesnn't happen.
Fair enough.
But I will say this though:
that's a smart approach, not mine.
They're going to move up in this draft. Like this is going to be a draft. They
book it.
100%.
Okay. It's like you betting on Gary Woodland at the Houston Open. Book it.
Talk to me, Bray.
They're moving up, and Monroe Freeling is the guy you love. Is the guy you've been talking about. I think move up. And I think out of these 9 picks, I think they package up in a certain way. They only end up with 4.
Dude, if they do that,
Monroe,
and they get Monroe Freeling,
yeah,
and you're still able to address some others, and I asked for Cade Mays, and I said Monroe Freeling a long time ago, then I'm going to be one happy puncher.
I'm going to get the Stars hat in his honor.
And
the Red Star.
The Red Star, right. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that.
I will.
That would make me really happy, but also put a lot of pressure because you really got to understand what you're getting into there.
It will, but I think you put him on this offensive line with the other players. I think there's enough synergy, and then with Hank Fraley being the guy that he'll come around fast. I think
he's athletic.
It's true. And also, too, what do we say the number 1 position is in this draft in terms of where you can quality players? It's defensive end. It's rush end. So if you're going up to get Monroe Freeling, you still will be able to have something at the end of the first, second round.
I would have no problem with that depending on what you give up. So we'll have to wait and see. But you know what? Pretty soon we're going to turn the calendar. It's going to be April. And we're going to be talking about a lot of mock drafts. It's going to be flipping awesome.
Because that's the only thing that would make sense for how relaxed, how chill, how blah, 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 passe down the line that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are. Because realistically, outside of these interviews that you're seeing, like they've been relatively quiet. They've been relatively quiet, so usually when he's quiet, he's just working on his way up the draft.
Very loud game tonight. Number 1 in the East, number 1 in the West. When we come back, we'll discuss that matchup between the Pistons and the Thunder, a guy who is starting to get under our nerves a little bit, and what the hell are people talking about in trying to, quote-unquote, improve the NBA? Another person comes out with a stupid idea. That and more on the Braylon Edwards Show as we move forward on a Monday. After this from Dr. Pierce and buddies.
He is the injury insider. But outside of being an injury insider, he is a doctor, and he knows exactly what he's talking about, whether it's Darren McCarty or whether it's the Iceman cometh, George Gervin. These are individuals that know how good Dr. Pierce is and where he can get you. Michigan Sports and Spine. They've been doing it for a very long time, man. And this is where you go. Dr. Pierce, it's about the right diagnosis. It's not just getting diagnosed. Like, I went to doc a couple different times. Every time I came out feeling better, then I went in. He is the guy. 248-426-99.
Even your triceps?
100%.
Those are overdeveloped. You know that, right?
You know it. Not anymore. I've been laying off a little bit, man. More bicep work. But trust the guy we trust. You can also catch him on Big D Energy on Tuesdays, as well as right here, the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep on Thursdays, where we talk about the guys coming back or the guys being out. Kay Cunningham, how was the collapse long? When is the next interview? When is the next time we're going to see him on the court? Well, you got to come here to get that from Dr. Jeff Pierce.
Grand Slam Opening Day Festival. Come hang out with us this Friday, April 3rd. Tigers Opening Day. Woodward Sports. We are going to be at Buddy's in downtown Detroit for the live watch party. Come get a slice of the best pizza you can possibly get. It screams Detroit, just like Opening Day does. Have a beer with us and talk some baseball. Broder, KG, and I will be there. Can't wait for it. Buddy's Pizza downtown. It is the Grand Slam Opening Day Festival. Come join us and have a blast on Opening Day Friday.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
I hate to tell you, energy drinks, but you're about to be crushed. Thrive nootropic energy pouches are here to change the game by delivering steady, focused performance in a clean white pouch for a fraction of the cost. And unlike other brands, Thrive comes from an American company that's been leading the way for over 30 years. So stop drinking gut rot energy drinks and why don't you thrive for a change? It's just better.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
It's Game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports. The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Looking for a Top Rock experience? Look no further than Black Rock Bar and Grill. Daily specials, happy hour, call to book your priority seating, because there is priority seating in Black Rock, because it is that Top Rock experience we talk about. The service is amazing, staff is amazing, and then also the food is fresh, and then you have that price point that you like. No matter if it's Harlan, Nova, Ann Arbor, Davidson, wherever you get, Black Rock is going to be an experience that will bring you back time and time again. Tasty Tuesdays, Sizzling Thursdays. Look, it's the place for you. It's the place for me. Come on down to Black Rock Bar and Grill.
You want great service? You want great service for your haircut? Yeah, Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men will provide that for you. It's a clean environment. It's a fun environment. TVs everywhere where you can watch sports. What else do you want to watch, right? And you get lovely ladies who engage in good conversation and give you a great haircut at a very fair price. Plus, they're open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, and you're out the door looking wicked awesome, because that's exactly what Lady Jane's is.
And we back. I was going to say, man.
How about some super chats?
Yeah, I was going to say the chat is doing their thing. We already passed that first like goal. Already on our way to the second one before the show ends. Oh, smash that like button.
Smash the like button. But what's the goal? The goal's 100.
But
we
upped it.
130.
He said 130 now.
Okay.
Come on, man. 130, man.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
We put forth that effort, man. You guys believe in us. You buy into us. So look, man, like that. Smash that like button. Show us. Make us believe it.
We got some super chats in here that we want to get to. Yes. Michael Wary, shout out to Michael Wary, $2 super chat says, when Blue wins the Natty, Dusty will be the highest paid coach.
That's facts.
I don't think he will be. I don't think they will pay him more than they pay Bill Self, and I don't think he'll make more than Tom Izzo in the Big Ten. But he'll be competitive. Maybe make as much. Yep.
You see that one. And
you think they're going to win the national title?
Yes.
You do. You think they're beating Arizona and they're playing?
The answer is yes.
Okay.
Now, the opposite side of that, am I nervous? I'm nervous at the fact that Arizona has shown you their resiliency, how they came back against Purdue and then still beat them by 12 points. And then on the other side, UConn's resilience, come back from 19, beating the #1 team, Duke. Like, those things go a long way in the tournament. Michigan's blown everybody out. They haven't been faced with adversity. They haven't been put into that spot, a real spot. I ain't talking about up to against Howard at the half. They haven't been in that spot. So having to face two teams back to back, because I believe that UConn will beat Illinois. Having faced two teams back to back that have been through that in this tournament, and one team is arguably the best team all year long. That's a tough talk. That's a tough task, or a tall order, if you will. But I think it's one that they're equipped for.
So they have qualified for the Final Four and the Frozen Four in the same season for the 5th time in school history.
Shout out to Go Blue.
They've done it in 64, 92, 93, 2018, and now.
And the women are in the Sweet 16.
The only school to do that Michigan State, and they did it twice. All right? So this is a team that is playing as good as anybody in the country. I think you could argue that whoever wins Saturday night's game that you're going to watch at Art and Jake's in Clarkston, whoever wins that game is probably the national champion. Okay,
I'm not.
That's just my guess. I mean, remember this. It's a Michigan team that's averaged 95.3 points per game in this tournament, most by any team en route to the Final Four since Kentucky in 1993, when they averaged 97 points per game. Highest mark ever by a Big Ten team, and ranks third highest by any team in the tournament since it's expanded in 1985. That's a hell of an accomplishment.
So now it goes back to the conversation that Yaxel Lindenborg was having before the tournament, that they said they could be the best Big Ten team of all time. After they beat Tennessee, which was their 4th win so far in this tournament, he said they are the best team in Michigan history. Where do you think they stand? For me, I've also heard Jalen Rose, who was on 2 teams that didn't win a national championship but considered damn good in the annals of basketball. He said there might be time to have this conversation, and this is coming from Jalen. So for me, it's always going to be 89. You got to win a national championship to be the best.
Amen.
But I say 89. If they win this national championship, then to be honest, I don't think it's close.
I think you're right.
Yeah, if they win the national championship, it's not close.
If this team wins the national championship, it will be the best team Michigan has ever fielded on a basketball court. Yeah. I believe. I think they'd be better than the 89 team, but don't give me the Fab Five when 89 won it all.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree.
So I think it's, and that's immediately, I kind of tweeted this out. That's what the CBS crew said when after Lindenborg said we might be the best, and they immediately said, well, Fab Five are going to have something to say about that. Hold on, man.
They didn't win.
They didn't win it. Let's go Glenn Rice. Let's go Ramil Robinson. Let's go Loy Vaught. Let's go Terry Mills. Let's do that first and foremost. Don't give me. If you think the best team of all time didn't win a national championship, then you're dissing your lone national title holder, and you're setting a pretty low bar.
Yeah, that's
hey, we played for one. Okay, then don't be ripping on anybody else, okay? Don't be talking about teams that get there but can't get over the proverbial hump, because your team actually did at one point and you've forgotten about it.
It's going to be interesting because you already know how it's set up. You already know when Michigan wins the national, I don't deal in ifs. When they win this national championship, we're going to come in on that Tuesday, and we're going to have our top 10 Big Ten teams of all time. Where will this Michigan team be placed is going to be interesting. Because if we're basing it on just winners, then obviously there's Michigan State, there's Magic, there's Isaiah.
Indiana went undefeated.
That's why I say Isaiah.
Yeah. So no, Isaiah didn't go undefeated.
Oh,
Isaiah was the third.
80.
Yeah. So it was the 70. Is it the 78, 77, 78 team, whatever? I forget. But they went undefeated, 76.
Yeah.
Okay, 32-0. The year before, they went 31-1.
Yeah.
Okay, they won back-to-back national titles. Anybody who says that this team would overtake that team is a little biased. But, yeah, look, the Michigan State team of Magic Johnson and Greg Kelser and Ron Charles and Mike Berkovich and Terry Donnelly, yeah, I mean, they belong. Jay Vincent, they belong in that conversation without question.
That's the one thing about the Big Ten, man. And I mean, I guess it's every conference. ACC probably has a bunch, too, so no disrespect. Yeah. There's so many good basketball teams in the Big Ten over years that have not won it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many good Michigan State teams, so many good Purdue teams, so many Illinois, Wisconsin.
The 89 Illinois team was unbelievable, but lost to Michigan in the NCAA tournament, but humbled Michigan on senior night at Chrysler Center, beat the snot out of them twice during that season. I mean, that's the Kendall Gill led team. That's Nick Anderson. That team was really flipping good.
That's a pull.
You know what's so funny is shout out to Kendall Gill. You know what's so funny about that now too is I guess UCLA is also now in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So you
you got to put that in there.
No, you don't. No. Wait, Lou Alcindor, that was way, and Bill Walton, that was way before.
Way long time. Sidney Wicks and those guys.
No, you know what? Now, if you want to put us against Ed O'Bannon and them, I'm cool with that argument. But nah, you got to lead the greats and lead them in the 60s and 70s.
Listen, this is bias, okay? And they're not as good as the 2000 Michigan State team, because the Michigan State team in 2000 was unbelievable, led by Mateen Cleaves and the Flintstones. But the 2013 Michigan team with Trey Burke and Nick Stauskas and Glenn Robinson Jr. and Tim Hardaway Jr., I mean, they had a lot of pros on that team, man, okay? And I still think I'll go to my grave saying they were better than Louisville. Go ahead with the...
as good as Yaxel Lindenborg was, like, look, there's no disrespect. He ain't no Trey Burke.
Yeah, I mean, he's the National Player of the Year. Lindenborg's a really good player. I don't think he could win National Player of the Year, but I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
Like Lindenborg he's been killing in the tournament minus the one game, but Lindenborg had a bunch of games in the regular season where it's like he'll have a 28-9 game, 28 or 29 game, but then the next game will be like 11. Like next game like 13. Like when you're on that level, when you're that Naismith, you ain't putting
I
out.
can't say Trey had many of those.
You're not putting out too many 11 and 9s and 13s. Like you're 18, 19 and higher.
Now the difference is his team won a Big Ten title.
Who?
Okay, Lindenborg's. Trey Burke and Michigan.
Oh, that's right. Regular season and tournament. They didn't win either one.
Well, yeah, Michigan did not win in the Big Ten tournament. They didn't win.
Oh, but they won regular season though.
I'm trying to remember.
They won regular season,
they won the regular
and then
season,
they lost the tournament.
They lost in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. I can't believe I forgot that. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. This name here, Blow Me 69 with the 199 super chat.
I don't think there's any mistake in that name either. Like, that's pretty straightforward. That's pretty straightforward.
No pun intended.
I said he says
pun intended for
he
sure.
said Dusty would rather have more NIL than money for himself. When you guys were talking about his contract,
yeah,
he is a wizard with this portal stuff.
Okay, well let's for right now say it's true. Just for the sake of this conversation, that's the issue with Mick Cronin. Don't come up here complaining about all the money you need and you making $6.2 million.
Why can't you have both?
Because you ain't that good.
Well, what makes us
mix it up?
What makes any of us think that when has Dusty May suggested I want the money for my players and not for myself? Why can't he have both? One gets paid by the school, the other gets paid NIL, wink, wink, by the school through donors and the like. Come on.
Because I also
what are we talking about here?
I ain't saying, but maybe he will. Like this is a situation where there's a lot of money being made off the court. Like you don't have to necessarily coach at a high level to get paid. There's a lot of money off the court, and you're like, hey, look, if you guys are gonna give me 6.5, man, give me 5. Say that 1.5, package it up, and here's some more.
Okay, that's still $2.5 million more than he made this year. So my guess is
he deserves it.
I'm not saying he doesn't.
Oh yeah. He wants something now.
The people in the chat are people in the chat are saying he cares more about his players and they're getting the money than he does getting his own. I think that's bullcrap.
He's also got a wife and a family.
Exactly.
Those
aren't conversations you can just bring home. Yeah, babe, I gave the other $4 million away, man. So it's just, all we need is 2.5. Yeah, she's gonna be out in UCLA with me.
To a player who won't be here next year.
I haven't seen anything that would indicate such. Okay, but
Dusty May.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, Charles, he sends in a $5 super chat to say, I concur. MSU, what has Izzo done lately? Is he keeping his team consistent with the current landscape? Loyalty is great, but it won't win championships, he says. Jarrell sends in a $10 super chat.
He was made the NCAA tournament 28 straight years. Okay, that means you're giving your team a chance. All right? I mean, you may not care about the loyalty. He's still bringing in talent. It's not like he didn't dip into the into the NIL or into the transfer portal. He did.
But be careful because you're also the same guy talked about Mike Tomlin. It's like at some point. So what?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I respect the hell out of Mike Tomlin.
Same.
You know that. I mean, look, everything comes to an end.
Yeah.
All right? If it can come to an end for Dean Smith and Roy Williams and Mike Krzyzewski and players like that or coaches like that, yeah.
I mean, well, Izzo said in 5 years he's hoping to be raising that national championship trophy when asked that question.
Somebody said, what are you going to be doing in 5 years? Hoping to hoist another championship banner. Yeah.
Here's a good question. Those schools, Dean Smith had his heir apparent. Roy Williams had his eyes on him, went out and got Roy Williams. Roy Williams is a UNC guy anyway. He comes back, boom, you locked the loaded, wins the national championship the first year. I believe it was 05.
I don't know is the answer.
Thank you. Like, who's up next for Michigan State? Because this seems very similar to the football program with, Antonio Narduzzi
really good point.
Disappeared.
Yeah.
Like, who's next? Who's carrying on this torch if he's never going to give it up?
Yeah, so, I mean, Dane Fife is no longer on his staff. He went to Mike Woodson's staff at IU and got totally screwed there. I really like Sadie Washington. He's been there for a couple of years. Doug Wojcik has been there on the bench for a long time. He's had guys like Mike Garland and Mark Montgomery and people like that. Does Michigan State feel like it has to be an MSU guy? I don't know. Is MSU, here's a better question, or just as good a question because yours is very good. Is MSU a destination place? Like we just talked about North Carolina earlier, right? Billy Donovan's going to leave the Bulls for there.
Okay.
Michigan State, is that a place where other guys around the country are looking at it going, man, I want that gig? And I don't mean guys who coached, with all due respect, to Toledo.
Right.
I'm talking about guys from other major programs that go, that's an opening where I would go.
I think yes, if the conversation is the right conversation. If when I'm entering or if I'm interviewing for Michigan State and I'm sitting in that room across from their president or across from their board and I'm selling myself, I'm asking some questions. Are we going to spend some money? Are we going to dive into the NIL pool? How much of Magic Johnson and insert
Steve Smith or
Steve
those guys
Smith,
money?
How much is UWM? How much is Rocket Mortgage? How much are they going to contribute?
Right.
Because if that's the case, if you're going to let me do a little bit more than that, sorry, I'm not going to do exactly what Tom Izzo do. I'm going to bring some of that new style Dusty May in. I'm going to bring some of that. If they're open to that and if they've signed on for that, hell yeah, it's a destination because you just talked about it. Michigan State has been in the media as it relates to basketball for a very long time, but for 28 straight years. High-level basketball, Final Four appearances, national championship appearances, guys in the league, Draymond Green most notably in the recent years, and what he did for the Warriors. So I think they still are a destination, but they got to be willing to spend some money and change some stuff up.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Any other super chats?
Got a couple more here. Michael Wary sent in another $2 super chat that just says, Brad, good at drafting, cheap with free agents. All right, you know what? In our poll here, just to update people, the approval rating of Brad Holmes right now, 24% of the people say high, 44% of the people say mid, 25% say low, and 7% of the people say none. And our last super chat right now in the system, Jarrell says, should Michigan State fans be rooting for Michigan this weekend? I want all three of your takes on it. Charles just sent in, MSU is a choice, not a destination presently. But what do you guys think? Should Michigan State fans be kind of doing the Big Ten and the state of Michigan rooting system for U of M?
Little brothers never cheer for big brothers. Like you cannot get Michigan State to cheer for Michigan. I told you, point blank period, Michigan will cheer for them for sure. They're a great basketball team. I love Tom Izzo. If they're not playing Michigan, why wouldn't I not cheer for Michigan State? I don't care about that now. If Michigan State football was in the national championship game, it might be hard to cheer for them because I feel like that's what we have on them. But like basketball, do your thing. Like they can't go that route. They can't cheer for Michigan.
I think you're the exception. I don't think anybody cheers for their rival. And I know Michigan may not always see them as their rival, but they are their rival on the ice. They are their rival on the court. Just because they're not in football doesn't mean they're not a rival. I don't think anybody does that. I think they may say that, but if you went to that school or you're a diehard maize and blue fan or you're a diehard green and white fan, you're not doing it. You may do it if you're a Chippewa, if you're an EMU Eagle or a Western Michigan Bronco. Hey, man, I just want the state of Michigan. I just want the Big Ten because the Big Ten is beating the crap out of the SEC. I want the Big Ten to keep having success. I think it's really difficult for anybody on the campus of Michigan State University to root for Michigan against Arizona. Okay? And by the way, I get that. I'm okay.
No problem.
Yeah, but you're an exception. Most people would take light of that and probably not agree with it. So you're unique in that regard.
Because it just doesn't change. Like Michigan State winning changes nothing about me, changes nothing about my college experience. It changes nothing about the team that I'm rooting for, whether they're in it or not. It changes nothing to cheer for Michigan State.
Right. But it's not you. It's the guy. That's because you have something over them that no one can ever take away.
That's fair.
It's the kids in the group chat who are saying, I love it when Michigan loses, and then the person who may not have gone to Michigan but likes Michigan says, yeah, but what have you done lately? Well, you can't join this conversation, right? That's what it is. I mean, those are the guys who are doing that. They're at the bar rooting as hard as they possibly can, not wearing green and white, but saying, yes, deep down inside, Arizona, nice shot, Stanley Johnson. Quick thought from from Massage Chair
Detroit Piston
and
great.
Supreme Lending.
You know what, man? Look, this massage chair is
that
so...
got you sour, didn't it?
But look, this massage chair is so good that sometimes it makes me feel like my defense is good enough to have LeBron James rattled. Shout out to Stanley Johnson. Scan that QR code to get a jump on this info. If you're looking to take your relaxation to the next level, gotta visit the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It is the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, featuring top tier brands like Infinity and Osaki. We got the Osaki right here, and again, man, it's next level relaxation. It's premium comfort and cutting edge wellness technology. Experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, The Wellness Doc and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. I did see Spinny over the weekend make some content from the chair after MSU lost. He said it was the perfect pick-me-up for him. So, look, book your visit today at MassageCharles.com or simply scan the QR code on the screen. Massage Charles, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
You know what Michigan State likes to do? Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
And buying home or refinancing is a just like in sports, you need the right team behind you. That's why we're proud to welcome Supreme Lending to the Woodward Sports family. Full service lender, they boast a 99% close-on time rate and a 97% customer satisfaction score. But hold up, y'all. Here's a game changer. When you apply for an eligible loan, mention Woodward Sports, and you'll receive up to $500 off your appraisal. Score this deal. Call the numbers on your screen and talk to Chad and Chris at Supreme Lending today.
Oh yeah, like Michigan State likes to push the goalpost back. So like in the situation like when they lost to UConn, you know what the conversation was, and they kind of prepped you for the conversation before the game. It's like, I'm not necessarily feeling this team this year, and I don't know if we're necessarily I don't know if we can get it done in the national championship. We'll get a couple rounds, and like they taper the expectation. So that when you lose to UConn, the conversation was
almost justified.
It was like, well, we weren't necessarily that team to push it over the top this year, but maybe next. Like that's what they do in football, basketball. Like that's what they do. Even
you
in
don't think Michigan did that in football this year?
Even in hockey, no. Like we weren't allowed to. As bad as we were, we couldn't do that. Like no, it's like, well, you suck. Like I understand the conversation. When we played Georgia in the Orange Bowl in 2022, I knew Georgia was a better team.
Yeah.
Like, I knew we weren't going to beat that team, but I didn't go to it and be like, hey, well, you know what? Like, this Georgia team is great. I didn't go into it like, well, we're not even supposed to beat this team. We're glad we're here next year. No, we went in there. We're hoping we won. Got our ass whooped. It's like, we'll figure it out next year. That's how it is. Like, stop. Because they basically take the conversation away from you.
Hey, speaking of losing, and then I know we got to get out of here. I want Kool-Aid. You got a game tonight, right? I mean, you got the Pistons, you got the OKC Thunder, and you've got a live chat through it. Duke lost 3 games this year. They lost to Texas Tech by 1, final seconds free throws. They lost to North Carolina by 3 in a right corner triple at the buzzer.
Saw that live.
And then they lost to UConn by 1. Those are the 3 losses.
So
they lost 3
points?
games by 5 points. Oh. That is really tough to take. Really tough. All right, tell us about what you got tonight, Kool-Aid, before we get out of here, and then everybody will enjoy watching you tonight.
Yeah, definitely. You guys already know we're going to have the stream tonight for the game. It's going to be a late one, so stay with us, people. And then we got the home game tomorrow as well, so we got a double dip with the Detroit Pistons here. And they're looking to continue on this path of keeping that #1 seed. So we're looking forward to the Pistons without Cade.
Yeah, no question they're getting the 1 seed. The question is, can they beat OKC? And will Shea Gilgeous-Alexander stop playing like it's soccer? That's the big question.
Quick joke before we get up out of here. When you watch the owners go into the owners' meetings down there in Florida, in Arizona. Like, it looks like
I know.
It looks like a bunch of individuals. I don't even want to say it.
It's a bad look.
I was going to say.
It looks like a bunch of people there in the Epstein files, like on the way to court.
You're right. That's one of the first things that come to mind. By the way, they're going to use replacement refs, which is something I wanted to get to today. But we need 6 hours to do this show because there's so many questions.
I was in the infamous game.
Okay.
Seattle.
So we're going to talk about that
Green
tomorrow.
Bay game.
Yeah.
The Hail Mary, Golden Tate.
So
I was on the Seattle Seahawks at the time.
And that's a lot of questions. They're ready to move forward with Division III, Division II, Division I referees because of the demands of these refs. We're going to talk about it tomorrow on the Braylon Edwards Show. Don't forget, Kool-Aid tonight, live watch party, Pistons and Thunder. Come on, Pistons. And
at 5 o'clock. The Lions
o'clock,
have 3 easy games in the beginning because if it comes down to these replacement refs, Lord have mercy.
Ugly.
Oh, my word.
Ugly. Heavyweights at 5 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow at 2.
See ya.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, Learn and love sports like never before.